Hello, how are you? My name is Juan Sebastian. I am part of the Artinova company and I am going to tell you a little bit about what screw cacti are. As you can see, the spiral shape makes the cacti take the shape to be able to enter the water and thus touch the roots. Cacti are very hardy outside. This allows a durability of many years. We can also see that they can last a long time without water, so outdoors it can be applied once a week and indoors depends on the weather, because indoors you have to put them in very good light. So, inside, you can apply the water every 15 to 20 days. We can also identify that you can put some pots of various sizes, which allows its growth to be limited a bit. Here, we can identify this cactus with this type of pot, which will allow it to grow by about 3 or 4 centimeters a year. How much lighting do screw cacti need? Cacti do have to receive a lot of light. Why? Because when there is no light, they dry up and die. Then, it is very important, or the recommendation, the light is always excellent. The exterior will always allow the cactus to survive and protect itself very well, and inside there must be very good light. If not, it will die. Care of screw cacti. In addition, I wanted to recommend that care is not only about applying water, it is also very important to apply some types of fertilizers. For cacti. There are cacti that are very delicate, so I recommend a type of organic compost, which can be a humus, liquid, or also a solid type. We can mix it with water and it will mix into the ground. So, apply once a month for preventive care. If perhaps you have a pest or a fungus, it is highly recommended to apply a type of insecticide or fungicide, which will allow us to take better care of the cacti. It is advisable to use organic insecticides for prevention. If it is already plagued, apply chemicals and keep the plant hydrated. How much does a cactus grow? Okay, well, here in Bogota, in this type of climate, cacti grow very slow. Why? Because it is not a type of environment that makes them grow very fast. So the recommendation is to give it a lot of heat and light, so that they grow. Generally, in Bogota, they grow an approximate of 2 to 5 centimeters per year. It may grow a little more. In hot land, which may be outside of Cundinamarca, it will allow them to grow faster. Why? Because of the type of environment. It is hot land, so the cactus will grow bushier, bigger. So it is a type of herb that allows it to grow more. How to plant a screw cactus? To plant a cactus, it is very important to know where it will be planted, the type of area. We can identify the cacti. In this case, the screw, that is a base towards above, allows us a more frequent area. For this type of cactus with this diameter, only one can be sown, depending on the pot. The larger, the more can be planted. The important thing is that they have space. Do screw cacti have flowers? Okay, well, in this type of cactus the flowers do not grow, but we can find other types that have flowers. On other cacti a spectacular grows, which allows us to see its beauty, but in this case the screw cactus doesn't. How can I extend the life of a cactus? Well, cacti are very similar to succulents, since we can find a certain similarity about care. When they grow up, they take out some little children, and those little children can be taken from each other and planted separately, so that over time they continue to grow. So, it is very important to know how to plant the cacti, since the root cannot be exposed to the elements, so that they do not die. Well, my recommendation is always good light, so outdoors it would be perfect. There are people who like the interior because of its beauty and because sometimes they attract or absorb energies. Then, the recommendation is to put them outside always, interior with very good lighting. How can I transplant a cactus? Once secured, we can identify that the pot is approximately 25 centimeters long. So the recommendation always to plant a type of cactus is a larger pot size. So we can see that this one is greater than the other. The first thing we are going to do in this case is cover it with soil, a fertile soil mixed with husk. They can also be planted with other types of cactus substrates. It may be that, depending on what is sown. It will hold more or less the water, and in this case, we are going to fill the container to the limit, 60% of the pot.
¿Verdad?
I invite you all, children and people who want to plant the cacti, to remember that living beings are very cool. So, in this case, what we are going to do is tighten the pot so that it comes out easier. You have to be a little careful for the pushes. What we can do is pull it like this and let the earth fall, or we can carefully pull and we start to pull it out from the root. Here, it actually came out.
Aquí efectivamente salió.
A very important point is that the cactus cannot be too low in the pot. Why? Because we are going to begin to cover it with the earth. Then, this is very important. Where you see that the part that begins from the root is limited with the edge of the pot, so in this case, we were a little below. We are going to apply another bit of soil.
Y aquí. Cuando ya tengamos el cactus acá,
And when we have the cactus here, we will continue to apply soil to cover the rest that we have left. And we can give about 2 to 3 centimeters to apply decorative stones. The stones do not affect the cactus, but it is very important that when applying water, always put your finger in 5 centimeters inside to check if it is wet or not. In this case, we put more earth and press, so that it is more solid and will not move. We can give them a few gentle strokes to tighten and fill another little.
para apretar. Y llenamos otro poco. Por último tenemos
Finally, we have the decorative stones, which beautifies the plants and makes it more decorative.
la planta y hacerla más.
It is very important, after having sown the plant, to apply water, because sometimes cacti or any type of plant suffer when it is just transplanted. So, my recommendation is always to apply water after sowing, so that there is a greater absorption. The cares are of 8 days in the outside and more or less 15 to 20 days indoors, with very good light. A cactus does not live without good light and always before applying water. If you have water, it is better to dry the soil than to keep it moist. Why? Because when it comes to applying water very often, the stems of the cactus will begin to rot and it will die. Sometimes too much water affects the plants. I invite you to follow us on all our social networks at Jardín Nueva Plantas. There you can find our catalogs. You can see various plant options which allows us to harmonize our space and make it very beautiful. Thank you so much.